The Dominican Republic, occupying the eastern two-thirds of the island of Hispaniola, stands as one of the Caribbean's most vibrant and fascinating countries. It is a nation that blends centuries of history with breathtaking natural landscapes and a cultural identity that resonates far beyond its shores. With Haiti to the west and the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea surrounding it, the Dominican Republic has long been a crossroads of peoples, traditions, and stories, making it one of the most influential countries in the region. The roots of the Dominican Republic reach back thousands of years, long before the arrival of Europeans. The island was originally inhabited by the Taíno people, who referred to their home as Quisqueya, meaning mother of the lands. The Taíno developed sophisticated agricultural practices, cultivating cassava, maize, and sweet potatoes, while also fishing and crafting beautiful pottery. Their society was organized into chiefdoms, with caciques, or leaders, guiding communities that were connected by trade and kinship. They were skilled in canoe navigation and left behind a rich cultural legacy, though much of it was disrupted by colonial expansion. In 1492, Christopher Columbus landed on the northern coast of Hispaniola during his first voyage, making the Dominican Republic the site of the first permanent European settlement in the Americas. Columbus established La Navidad, and later in 1496, Santo Domingo was founded by his brother Bartolomé Columbus. Santo Domingo holds the distinction of being the oldest continuously inhabited European city in the New World, and its colonial zone still contains some of the earliest architectural treasures of the Americas, including the first cathedral, the first hospital, and the first university. These buildings stand today as enduring symbols of the country's role in shaping the early colonial history of the Americas. The arrival of Europeans drastically changed the fate of the island's indigenous Taíno people. Disease, enslavement, and warfare devastated their population, and within a few generations, their numbers were greatly reduced. To replace the declining labor force, the Spanish brought enslaved Africans, who became central to the island's agricultural economy and left an enduring mark on Dominican culture. Over time, the blending of European, African, and indigenous influences created the diverse society that characterizes the Dominican Republic today. The history of the Dominican Republic is one of constant shifts in power and identity. In the 17th century, the western part of the island became a French colony, eventually forming Haiti. The eastern side, today's Dominican Republic, remained under Spanish rule, though it endured invasions, pirate attacks, and periods of neglect. In 1821, Dominicans declared independence from Spain, but within months, the new nation was occupied by Haiti. For 22 years, the Dominican Republic was ruled by its western neighbor until 1844, when Juan Pablo Duarte and other revolutionaries led a successful independence movement. Duarte, along with Ramon Matias Mela and Francisco del Rosario Sanchez, is remembered as one of the founding fathers of the Dominican Republic. Even after independence, the Dominican Republic experienced political instability, foreign interventions, and struggles for national identity. It was briefly annexed back to Spain in the 1860s, then later occupied by the United States in the early 20th century. The dictatorship of Rafael Trujillo, which lasted from 1930 to 1961, marked one of the darkest periods in Dominican history. His regime was notorious for repression, censorship, and violence, but it also oversaw modernization of infrastructure and the economy. After his assassination, the Dominican Republic moved toward democracy, though challenges remained. In recent decades, the country has emerged as one of the strongest economies in the Caribbean, driven by tourism, agriculture, and services. Geographically, the Dominican Republic is a country of contrasts. It boasts the Caribbean's highest mountain, Pico Duarte, which rises 3,098 meters, as well as the lowest point, Lake Enriquillo, a hypersaline lake below sea level. These extremes highlight the island's dramatic landscape. Fertile valleys, such as the Chibao Valley, produce crops like tobacco and rice, while arid regions contrast with lush tropical forests. The coastline stretches over 1,600 kilometers, offering endless beaches that attract millions of visitors each year. Punta Cana, with its white sands and turquoise waters, is one of the most famous beach destinations in the world. Bávaro, Playa Dorada, and Samaná are equally stunning, with palm-lined shores that define the image of paradise. Yet the Dominican Republic is more than beaches. The interior offers mountain ranges, rivers, and national parks perfect for ecotourism. Jarabacoa and Constanza, nestled in the Central Mountains, are known for their cool climate and outdoor activities like rafting, hiking, and paragliding. The Los Haitises National Park, with its mangroves, caves, and bird species, is another natural gem. In the southwest, Bahía de las Águilas is often described as one of the most pristine and beautiful beaches in the Caribbean, far removed from the bustle of resorts. Whale watching in Samaná Bay is a highlight, where humpback whales migrate annually, creating unforgettable spectacles. Santo Domingo, the capital, represents both the past and the present. Its colonial zone, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a living museum of the first European colony in the Americas. Walking its cobblestone streets feels like stepping back into the 16th century, with preserved fortresses, cathedrals, and plazas. At the same time, Santo Domingo is a modern city, filled with nightlife, restaurants, shopping, and cultural institutions. The Malecón, a seaside boulevard, reflects the city's vibrant energy, blending history with contemporary life. Culturally, the Dominican Republic is defined by the fusion of European, African, and indigenous traditions. Spanish is the official language, but the rhythm of communication is infused with local expressions and warmth. Religion plays a strong role, with Catholicism as the dominant faith, though Afro-Dominican spiritual practices also exist, reflecting the island's diverse roots. Festivals, processions, and holidays bring communities together in celebration. Carnival, held each February, is one of the country's most colorful and dynamic traditions, with costumes, masks, and parades that differ from town to town. The Carnival of La Vega is especially famous, with devilish masks and lively performances. Music and dance are at the heart of Dominican culture. The Dominican Republic is the birthplace of merengue and bachata, two genres that have spread worldwide. Merengue, with its fast rhythms and joyful energy, has been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Bachata, once considered music of the countryside, has become an international sensation, blending romantic lyrics with guitar melodies. Both genres are integral to daily life in the Dominican Republic, heard at festivals, gatherings, and nightclubs. Modern artists have brought Dominican sounds to global audiences, while traditional rhythms remain cherished at home. Food is another defining element of Dominican identity. The cuisine is hearty and flavorful, reflecting a mix of Spanish, African, and indigenous influences. Staples include rice, beans, and plantains, often served with meat or fish. The national dish, La Bandera Dominicana, or the Dominican flag, consists of rice, red beans, and stewed meat, symbolizing the country's everyday strength. Mangu, made from mashed plantains, is a beloved breakfast dish. Other specialties include sancocho, a rich stew with meats and vegetables, and tostones, fried green plantains. Street food, like empanadas and pastelitos, adds to the country's culinary charm, while tropical fruits such as mangoes, papayas, and pineapples are enjoyed in abundance. The Dominican Republic is full of surprising facts that many visitors do not know. It was the site of the first European colony and the first cathedral in the Americas. Its flag is the only national flag in the world that features a Bible in its design, reflecting the importance of religion. Baseball is the national sport, and the country has produced more Major League Baseball players than any other nation outside the United States. From legends like Sammy Sosa, David Ortiz, and Pedro Martinez to newer stars, the Dominican Republic is a powerhouse in global baseball. The island also has a deep artistic tradition. Painters, sculptors, and writers have contributed to Caribbean and Latin American culture, often drawing on themes of identity, race, and history. Juan Luis Guerra, one of the country's most famous musicians, has elevated Dominican music internationally with songs that combine merengue, bachata, and poetic lyrics. The works of writers such as Julia Alvarez and Junot Diaz, though based abroad, also reflect Dominican experiences and have reached global audiences. Despite challenges such as poverty, inequality, and natural disasters, the Dominican Republic has shown remarkable resilience. Its economy has grown steadily, fueled by tourism, remittances, and industries like free trade zones. Millions of visitors each year are drawn not only to its beaches, but also to its culture, hospitality, and authenticity. Tourism campaigns highlight both the luxury of Punta Cana and the adventure of exploring mountains, rivers, and hidden coasts. Ecotourism and sustainable practices are gaining importance as the country balances development with conservation. Perhaps the most enduring characteristic of the Dominican Republic is the warmth of its people. Dominicans are known for their friendliness, hospitality, and love of life. Visitors are often struck by the way strangers quickly become friends, conversations flow easily, and music and laughter fill the air. The Dominican spirit is one of resilience, creativity, and joy, shaped by centuries of history yet always looking forward. From the ancient heritage of the Taíno to the colonial past of Santo Domingo, from the rhythms of merengue and bachata to the chants of baseball stadiums. From the beaches of Punta Cana to the peaks of Pico Duarte, the Dominican Republic tells a story of diversity, strength, and beauty. It is a country where history lives in architecture and traditions, where nature astonishes with its variety, and where culture radiates through food, music, and people. The Dominican Republic is more than just a destination. It is an experience of identity, resilience, and celebration.